Good morning. Got something special we're going to have a look at today. Now, I have decided to bring my G1 character collecting to a close with my Transformers. Basically finished up my Superion and decided, I'm sick of chasing them down. But what I will do occasionally is still get some of the more unique things like this, or perhaps the collaboration stuff, so like the DeLorean Transformer. I've got the Jurassic Park Transformer, and I have the X-Men X-Jet Transformer on the way. And I'm always going to be a sucker for Tarn, Grimlock, Prime and Starscream, and that's one of the reasons I got this. So this is the Transformers Timelines Hearts of Steel Optimus Prime and Starscream pack. And what this represents is, I think it was about maybe 10 or more years ago, there was a comic called Hearts of Steel, which was much like Marvel What If stories, and proposed that what would it be like if the Transformers popped up in the Industrial Age and were all steam powered and related to that era. There is also a Bumblebee and Megatron pack. I am not sure about that pack. The Megatron's fine. The transformation is almost not a transformation. But the Bumblebee looks a bit dodgy to me, so not really sure if I want to grab that pack. And the first thing we'll do, we'll just move these guys out of the way, is have a look at the packaging. So this is a nice, shiny, embossed slipcover, looking all like a steampunk trunk. And there's your pictures there, some more embossed stuff there, a lot of detail on the box and the bottom. And then when we take the slipcover off, again we have more of that detail. Notice that hinge there, and you can see sort of a latch detail, so like it is kind of a suitcase or some sort of latching box, and you can open it up and that is where the figures were. So if you really wanted to display the stuff mint in box, it's going to look really cool. That's pretty much it for the packaging. It's one of those packages, because there's so much detail and work in it, I won't be throwing it away. Next up, we'll have a quick look at the instructions. So it's got both Starscream and Optimus Prime on the one piece. Just flipping around like that. And it does tell you a couple of things that you need to change out of the box. Alright, so let's get into looking at the figures. We'll grab Optimus first. So this is Hearts of Steel Choo Choo Train Optimus. And he does kind of look a little bit like a Tonka train or a Thomas the Tank Engine toy. But the colour and detail is outstanding. Lots of gold and red. Now, this is going to come off and become a shield, and this is going to come off and become his blaster. And you'll notice he's got wheels, so we've got this one in the centre here, and then 4 here, and these aren't rolling wheels at all. Sort of see the feet, but it's not a big deal. And then we have our Starscream. And this is the whole reason I got this. This might be my #1 Transformers figure of 2005. And you can see he's kind of a Leonardo da Vinci style flying machine. And that's what they look like. Now, we're going to have one comparison only here. Oh, we can have 2, because there's a Starscream there. So there's our Devastation Prime. And a tiny little Bumblebee Starscream. Unfortunately, I've put a lot of my stuff in storage at the moment. So we'll go through Prime's transformation first. So first thing we do is we pop off that, which will become the shield. And that, which will become the gun. Next, we pop the back open and pull that all away. Now, when it tabs in, those tabs go into grooves here And that slot just under my finger goes onto these pieces. So we'll just pull that down. And what we can do first is we can extend the leg out, Combiner Wars style, and the other one. And then we'll pull the feet a little out and then around. They do seem to tab in there slightly. And the other one as well. And then these pieces, you go in and then around and they tab in there. The same there. And then you see you can untab, come on, untab those clips in the middle, pull them aside, and there's this skirt piece done. Now with this, so it tabs in on these little tabs. So what I like to do is pull these away first. Then we can untab these, which will also pull it away from this tab here. And just move them out for the moment. Then we untab this part and pull that all the way back. And then we can flip, no, hang on. Flip that all the way around like that. And then bring Optimus's head all the way around, and then push that bit up like that. And then we compress all that back in to the top. To the top. Why isn't this working? There we go. Just make sure that's tabbed in properly there. So like that, and then we can bring these little notches over those tabs. Spin that all the way around. Same there, spin that all the way around. And then we have our Timeline's Optimus Prime in robot mode. And I don't mind it. It's good, but it has some foibles I don't like. His hips are very loose. And these are kind of don't tab on quite as well as I'd like. But apart from that, not bad. So there's two ways you can put the shield on. We can tab it onto the side with the big post. Right, like that. Or, and it doesn't show you this in the instructions, it just looks like it on the picture on the front of the packaging. You can see there, he's holding it on the front of his fist. There's actually a cutout for that, so you can see these notches here will line up with that part of his fist. And there he can have it at the front, which not a lot of Transformers can do with their shield bits. And finally, the gun, we pop it open, pull out the internal bit, close it, and then jam it in his hand. And then we have the complete Hearts of Steel Prime. And this is really good. And he's got all of the articulation you would expect. He doesn't have a waist joint, but seems like they could have possibly fit one in there. You can see the detail and see how steampunky his head is. It's all very cool. And that's how he fits up next to Deluxe Devastation Prime. So this one's a bit more complicated, but we'll have a quick look at him and you can see all of his wonderful, wonderful detail. So for transformation, first thing we need to do is pop that away from those tabs and then pop those out from there. Bring that in and down, and the same on this side, in and down, turn them around. Pop the feet out from the tabs in the back, which you can see there. And then we have Gerwalk, Hearts of Steel, Starscream. Which works pretty well. Okay, so then we pull all of that section down to here. Then we need to untab these bits from the side and tab them into themselves there. Same there. Oop. And then we bring this entire section down, create some side skirt armor for him, which is nice. So next we can turn these around. Now you can pop them off, but you can leave them on for transformation. And then we pull the arm away from those slots there. Same on this side. And then pop up his skirt piece. And then we unclip all of this from the top. Hang on. We'll turn those arms up first to make that a bit easier. And then we pull all that away from the top. And that will just clip down and we can see his lovely head. And then the last things we need to do are we pull in his wings and then we pop this bit up. Now, a lot of people are going to prefer to have that down and have a nice silhouette, but the actual instructions and the comic book show him as having this big hat. And that is our Hearts of Steel Starscream. And again, wonderful articulation. He doesn't have loose anything. And just the look of this thing, you can see he's got kind of like a bat head, which I wasn't sure of, but I've gotten much more used to. And yeah, all the articulation you need, swivels, hinges. Not everything can go as far as you'd like it to because of how it's made. But that is our 2-pack Hearts of Steel Starscream and Optimus Prime. And I might have to say, put it over there, that this Starscream might be my figure of the year. Yeah, it's fantastic toy. The 2-pack was between $60 and $70, I can't remember, so it's even a bargain price-wise. We've got some more Transformer toys coming, but some of these reviews might not happen until after Christmas now. Which, speaking of which, I hope you all have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see each other again soon. Bye!